Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Inside Gamescast for April 6th. It's 8:23 in the PM. I really wanted to get these out at the first of every month, but there's been some happy life disruptions, huh?
There was a small little thing that happened. Get it, Lawrence? Small,
tiny little person.
Yeah, it's a tiny little person.
Yeah.
But sorry we didn't get it out right away. It was literally scheduled when we were supposed to record this the night the baby was born.
Yeah.
So
the happiest delay of all time.
yeah. So sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's all right. I bring it up, though, and I've already violated my own rule. Bruce, this is supposed to be a gaming podcast.
I apologize. We're supposed to be talking about video
Only games. Except
Only
no.
games.
No!
Okay,
This is a special occasion, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm of many minds about this. I personally maybe feel that I want to leave it up to you, Bruce. I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
How much do you feel like sharing this wondrous occasion? How much of it?
Oh, I would love to.
Well, hold on before you do.
Okay, I was going to say
we got to carve off a little piece of this for our patrons.
That's what I was going to say. So we should talk about video games because this is the Inside Gamescast before we talk about the birth.
Oh, you want to put it all behind the paywall, Bruce?
Well,
you should talk about most of it, right?
Well, Lawrence, I did a free stream.
Oh, you already did it.
If I did a free stream and talked all about it. But
okay.
But
I'll link to that in the description.
I don't want people to tune in and be like, I can't wait for video games, and then me talk about the baby for an hour. So
gotcha.
Let's talk about video games first.
All right, let's do it. There was a baby, but I guess check Bruce's stream link in the description. I hope I remember to do that.
Whatever. I mean, it's there. It's there if you want it.
Yeah, I threw together some links here. Tears of the Kingdom gameplay, Bruce. What do you think?
Oh, Lawrence. Yeah, Lawrence, I didn't even watch it. Do you know why?
What?
Because I'm so excited.
Oh, do you not want to watch it?
No, I want you to play it. I'm
okay.
I'm gonna look away. I'm not gonna perceive it. But I was because people were asking. He's like, "Hey, did you watch it?" And I was like, "I didn't," because I'm so excited for Tears of the Kingdom.
Wow,
I can't wait.
So you don't need. Okay,
I know,
huh?
That because I want the childlike wonder to hit me when I'm streaming.
Okay,
because that's for some reason that's what I like to do. And also, I've been doing that with movies and television, like trailers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know how, like, when HBO or whatever other shows will be like, next time on blank?
Yeah.
I never watch those. Because I know I'm going to watch the next episode, so I don't need to know. Anyways, go ahead, play it. Play it. It's fine.
Okay, fine.
Play it. I'm going to look away. I'm not going to perceive it. I don't want you to
Bruce
talk
is going to look away.
I want you to talk about it.
You want me to talk? Well, I can't talk about it because then you're just
No, it's okay. Please.
You're going to know what's in it.
It's fine. It really is. It's something else. I can't wait. I'm very excited.
Hold on. Let me just... We'll put on some mood stuff here.
Oh, music?
Not music. I can't do music.
I mean, you can do Zelda music and stuff.
You don't think that would get claimed? Why is this widescreen?
Hit or miss.
What the heck?
Yeah, why is that widescreen?
That's gross, man. Oh, these plans have already gone off the rails.
That's okay.
Just completely off.
Video games.
Well, Bruce, I'm going to say that there's some things in that gameplay video that I wasn't expecting, that's for sure.
Well, let's watch it, dude. It's fine. Let's put it on.
All right.
Put it on. People want to watch. Because I know, like, Lawrence, in my Google News feed, I keep seeing spoilers about how you combine things.
Okay. Yeah, you
can
combine
who
things.
Cares?
Okay.
Let's watch it.
All right. I wanted to preserve your childlike wonder.
I'm so excited about this. Oh, my gosh. I can't wait.
So, yeah, essentially there's I was wondering if they were going to add new Slate abilities. So a lot of the stuff where you can like ride rocks up to platforms in the sky. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Very cool.
You could kind of guess that from the trailers. What I didn't expect at all, Bruce, the megaton that you have yet to see.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Whatever this is
the ability to bind world objects together.
So that's what people I kept reading this in the articles, and I was like, what does that mean? And I was trying to look away, but now I want you to tell me. I want to hear it from Lawrence.
Well, there were some examples in the gameplay trailer of like you need a boat, so they just snapped like 3 wooden logs together to make a raft.
Oh, that's so.
But then you can break and reattach them in different locations. So you can build
anything you want.
It seemed like it, yeah. Except I guess terrain, like you can't just pull out chunks of ground, or maybe you can.
Oh, okay, but so they had to be like objects that were loose in the world, basically.
Yeah, loose physics objects. Gosh, there was in that previous trailer. There was that shot of Link like riding a hover platform.
Yeah.
That wasn't pre-made. That was just like a thing that they bolted engines onto and then flew into the sky.
Dude.
So yeah, that's pretty cool, huh?
So like, I would assume throughout the game now, you're going to like learn how to, let's say, make flying engines, or make water engines, or I don't know, or like, can you just do it all from the start? I'm not sure. I imagine you're probably going to unlock them as time goes on, right?
Yeah, or you just find engine parts in the world.
Right. Right.
Oh yeah, you can like stick things to your shield so that when people hit it, those things explode. You can make a meat arrow. You can combine things with arrows and shoot them. So there was an example where they like put an eyeball on this and then shot it.
Yeah, what does that do?
What does? Oh, it makes it home. That's right, homing arrows, Bruce.
What?
And they talked about how like basically every item adds some property to what you're fusing it to, and it kind of like splinters out. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the different approaches are going to be really cool to see, and it's going to be a lot of creativity. I think that was one of the coolest things about Breath of the Wild is that you can put a controller in anyone's hand, and they're all going to do something different.
That's right.
But it's all equally valid because it's just a big old adventure. They're all going to pick a different path or a different way to go, run into different enemies, fight them in different ways.
Yep.
And this just is even more of that. All the weird combinations people can come up with and use. I'm excited to see it.
There's also I mean, not that we haven't done this, but I got to give credit to the developers of Breath of the Wild and now Tears of the Kingdom, because what you're talking about, you said put a controller in anybody's hand and then they know what it does. That's programmed. Like, people had to sit down and be like, what would people think of? Would they think that a log would be this heavy? Would they think that if you put a few logs together and make a raft? Like, they all had to think of those things and then program them in, and it feels incredibly natural. Maybe some of the most natural, like the only other thing I could think of is like Half-Life Alyx or Half-Life 2, where those physics immediately made sense to you. And that's, man, is that hard to do? Holy hell, that's hard to do. So like, I just can't wait for this. I'm so excited. Oh gosh, it's just beautiful.
It seems like such not a Nintendo thing. A game like this, like an open world game with sort of real crafting mechanics that happen in the game. Like, how did Nintendo make that game? And also the physics work.
All of it, yeah.
Bethesda can't do that.
That's true, yeah.
Like, Nintendo's out here making a better Skyrim. It's not the same game, but still, like, just the idea that you can roam around this open world. You have all these interchangeable physics systems, things that are interacting with each other, and now items you can create that have their own unique properties by interacting with other items. Yeah,
they're masters of their craft. Just absolutely masters
on
of
the
their craft.
Switch.
On the Switch, yeah.
Stupid.
I know. I like, again, if I were a game developer, I'd just be kicking myself. Like, especially Bethesda. Like, I'm sure that they're very proud of Starfield and I can't wait to play it. But seeing this, you got to go like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
You know, like on this crappy little tablet.
And make it work?
Yeah.
Any game like this, like there's a lot of games like this that have been made, but they all run at like 10 FPS and they're all from like Central Europe.
Right.
And I love them. They're all very ambitious, but somehow Nintendo can make it so that it works and then also everyone can play it, which is just astounding.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Lawrence? I'm really glad I watched this now. This is so exciting. I was already excited for this game, but this is just like, again, there's something magical about watching masters of their craft make something that no one's ever seen before. Yeah. Because, I mean, I don't think there's anybody in the world that thinks that the developers at Nintendo don't know what they're doing or are bad at their job. Like, these people are the best. They're the best. I just can't say enough about it. I mean, like,
they made a car.
They just made that, right? They just randomly made a little car.
Yeah, you can see the little, like, I didn't actually notice that. You can see the little green globby glue.
Yeah, it looked like a glue that they used.
Yeah,
to like put their pieces together.
So yeah, that was from the other trailer.
It's Legos,
pretty much. Yeah,
it's Legos.
Yeah. They made a Lego open world Zelda game.
Yep.
Except, so I know that like it was kind of surprising that it was $70. I think it was more like sad resignation. Everybody's like, okay, yeah, fine. But after looking at this and the theoretical feature set of interactivity and stuff like that, it's just outstanding.
It's going to be an immediate deluge of TikTok clips.
Oh yeah,
and what somebody made doing this task and how they did it, and it's just going to be, like you said, thousands of permutations on the same solution, which is so cool.
Yeah, we're at the end of the Switches. Hopefully, at the end of the Switch One's life cycle. We definitely
are, 100%.
But there's 100 million of them plus out there. Like Breath of the Wild sold really well, so the next game on a platform that has millions of it's going to be a pretty big game, I think.
Yeah. Yes. That is, I think, probably the biggest game of the year, and everyone's been saying, is it going to be game of the year? And I think it probably will. I think it's going to beat Starfield. I think it's going to sell more than Starfield. I don't know what other games compete? Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
I think it's
Final
probably going to
Fantasy
sell more than
16.
Spider-Man. Probably.
Spider-Man 2.
I know it's a juggernaut.
Spider-Man 1
juggernaut.
sold a lot.
It did,
but
no,
it also
you're right.
came out on PC, which gave it a punch.
Oh, yeah, a little boost.
It should be cool though. Like I don't know. I guess there was Elden Ring. I feel like kind of connected to some other stories. Maybe there's not a whole lot of games where it's like everyone's happy and everyone's celebrating it.
Yeah.
But surely
This is it.
Surely Tears of the Kingdom.
No, this is the one. This is I don't know. The only thing that I can see is that people are going to have performance issues on the original Switch.
Yeah.
But this looks great. I mean, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. And check this out. Like, he gets knocked off of a sky platform and then just goes right into free fall and can go anywhere.
What?
Isn't that cool? That's like Skyward Sword, but without all the loading, which was terrible.
Lawrence, why did I have a kid?
But
I was
now
supposed
you
to
can
play.
do both, Bruce.
I was supposed to play the game. Well,
You
I
got
guess
that Switch. You could
you're
take
right.
it
I could
with
just
you.
use the Switch and just play.
Yeah.
But oh man, this is just amazing. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
You'll get to what I'm excited for you for is to get to see your kid look at video games with those like eyeballs that can't quite comprehend what they're seeing yet.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna sound weird, but I remember being that baby. Like I remember watching TV and my eyes not quite being able to parse the audio and video that was coming into my head.
Of course, yeah. No, it's the same with me. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad was showing me video games when I was 5.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was just, it's like once they show it to you, that's it. You've learned it. Like, it's like, it doesn't even feel like it's something you're like, I have to figure this out. Like, it's just part of your world. So that's what it is now for people that are born. And I mean, you know, kids that were born a few years ago, that games are part of everyday life now.
Hell yeah.
They're not just like a hobby. This is something everyone does.
It's actually kind of, some people, this was more along the like the NFT and play to earn track. But there were people who were actively trying to build the bones of it being life, like a digital experience being your job, your work, your life, your livelihood, your society, your everything.
You mean like Dr. Disrespect's game?
Oh yeah, Midnight Society.
Yeah, that's the one.
Boy, I can't wait.
Sure, I'm gonna play it. Yeah,
I hope it exists and I hope it's good.
It does. People have been playing early builds of it. So
yeah, hopefully there'll be good video games for everybody. I don't know though. Counter-Strike 2. How do you get better than that?
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes. Also, Tears of the Kingdom.
Gosh, I can't wait.
It's like what, a month away?
May 12th. May 12th. We got at the time of recording, a week and what is that? 7 days? Week and 7 to 8 days? 5 days? Whatever.
You're going to be doing a
6 days?
subathon, right?
Oh, you bet.
Yeah.
I had already planned to do 24 hour. Yeah, I mean, like, are you going to do that? I assumed you were going to do it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Are you going to, do you want to take it in? Are you the kind of person that you want to take it in off stream? You want to do it it's like a religious experience for you, Lawrence. Do you sit down and be like, you know what?
Might be.
I want to play this alone for the first 6 hours or whatever it is. And I want to, cement my opinions of it and learn how to play it and then stream it.
No, I think I'd rather share it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe there are some games like that where, like when Doom Eternal came out, I was like, no, this is for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just cozy up with this one.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, actually that kind of breaks off a larger topic that I'm kind of curious about, Bruce.
Yeah.
How do you? Well, I think I know the answer to this. I think this was actually asked on something previously, but now that you stream, is that your entire relationship with games? Is that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've found a whole new enjoyment in it. So like before I would play a game, and there aren't many video games that I have sort of that religious experience thing that I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have the reverence that a lot of people do for specific games. So instead, I love experiencing something with a bunch of other people, and we can all go, whoa, that's so cool, or like, that's really dumb, or whatever. And it is making me enjoy video games, I think, more than I've ever enjoyed them. And I've been playing video games forever. So it's really interesting because I'm playing a bunch of games and getting into a bunch of video games that I would never have touched otherwise, because I was, working a full-time job and doing production or whatever. I just played Crab Champions. Have you played Crab Champions?
I saw that. Yeah,
you got to play it. You got to play it. It's
Okay.
really good.
Right.
And it's it's like Vampire Survivors. We're like, Vampire Survivors. I was like, there's no way this game is good, and it's amazing. It's an amazing video game. Crab Champions is the same thing. Where I was like, There is no way this $9 what looks like a joke
shitlord.
This shitlord exactly. I was like, there isn't. I played it for 4 hours and I didn't want to stop.
Oh man!
So I was like, never mind. All right, it's a good. And they made a good game, and it's got again. And Steam is, if Steam is anything, they are kind of right. There's like 4,000 positive reviews. Everybody's right. The game's great. So it's the same deal. I just wouldn't never have touched this game if it weren't for streaming. So I'm very excited about my relationship with video games now.
That's really cool, man.
So, yeah, that's great.
Huh?
It's really great.
I've been talking about games that you don't expect. I've actually been pretty taken by Crime Boss Rock.
Oh, have you? Yeah. Well, this is your kind of game too.
It is. You're right. It's 100% my kind of game. But I guess I'm just baffled by how well the actual framework of the game works.
Oh, okay. Like the gameplay itself.
More like the rule set.
Okay, all right. Are you talking about the roguelike campaign?
Yes, the roguelike campaign. It's frustrating how like well thought out and how well it actually works.
Okay.
But then also it just fucking kills you sometimes. It's just like, nope, you're done. You don't get to play anymore. Go back to the beginning.
Gotcha.
And then I do it again.
Good for you.
But it has like what's really hooked me is the story missions and the celebrity cast and everything.
They're so bad. But they're fun little rewards because they're so bad.
Yeah. They're exceptional. There's other characters too. It's not just the celebrities in the campaign. So there's all these like weird named characters that have these like crime stories that play out via these scripted story missions that don't take place in the normal payday levels. So there's like a veteran and you do a flashback level of him in Vietnam.
Oh.
And if you die in the flashback level, he's removed from your game.
Oh, okay.
Stuff like that. Yeah, there's a lady who's a steroid pusher, so she's a bodybuilder, so she's huge.
Sick, yeah.
And then you play through her stories of like getting ambushed by the mob in her gym and stuff like that. But yes, they all have baffling voiceover and just weird delivery that sounds like everybody was just sort of coached to be as crazy as possible, but they did all their VO in one session years removed from each other.
I was gonna say nobody talked to each other ever.
So it's got I'm trying to think of, what this all connects to like what I was thinking about. I went to an opera as well, Bruce. I
saw that. Yeah, I saw that in the doc. I was like, oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Opera.
The story in that was a little nonsensical.
Which opera? Can you say the name?
It was the Magic Flute.
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Mozart's The Magic Flute.
Never
except
seen it,
it was a Nintendo themed version called Super Flute.
Cool.
So they adapted like a lot of the characters to be Nintendo-esque and had like really crummy costumes. I'll show pictures of it later, but the story, like it was adapted into English. So, but usually they have titles up. But anyway, the story is utterly nonsensical. Like every scene or story beat, they have to announce the rules of the next scene of like, I'm not allowed to talk or I'll die.
Oh, okay.
And then there's a scene where not talking is very dramatic.
Got it.
And then that rule evaporates into the air. And it just never matters again and is never referenced. Characters show up and do random shit and disappear. And I was watching it and I was like, man, I guess this is cool because I'm just sort of flowing from one feeling to another and just sort of letting the music tell me how to feel.
That's great. You were experiencing it right, I think.
I mean, I have to presume.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it really reminded me of playing older video games.
Oh,
where
yeah.
There's not much story or it's translated really weird.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of flow with it. And that's what Crime Boss Rock Case City is like.
Yeah, it really is.
Every scene is just its own little world.
It really is.
Plus, it's just, I've discovered, and I finally put a word to it, I'm just a huge fan of camp.
Oh, yeah, you love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you've always loved it.
I really do.
But I think a lot of people, I mean, it's not even really, I guess you specifically are a fan of it, but camp crosses over, I think, for everyone. I think there's always like one or two things that people can go like, oh man, I really love that stupid whatever. Like The Room. The Room is something that everybody loves once they've seen it. But you specifically are a connoisseur of camp. Definitely. Definitely.
There's something magical that happens when people try something way too ambitious for their skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where camp kind of tends to live.
That's right. That's right. And as long as they stick to the rules of their world, even if they're stupid, and they are ambitious, like you said, and also like driven to make something that they think is good. Doesn't matter if it is good. Then it's great. Then it turns out really great. Yeah, you are absolutely right about. Because like Crime Boss you played Saints Row too. It feels very much like Saints Row to me, where like Saints Row is like really stupid, but I kind of got it. Like I understood the tone and enjoyed the gameplay. And Crime Boss was the same way. Like once I got into that campaign, I was like, oh, okay, I get this. Like this is kind of fun. Even though, and then again, like the terrible cinematics are just like the reward. Like the Chuck Norris, I couldn't wait to hear Chuck Norris's AI voice. I was so excited to hear how bad it was. And like, it was a conscious choice, I think. They meant to do this over and over and over. It's terrible, but wow, it's funny.
Oh. It also, you know what it also reminds me of? Something that we need more of? Well, actually, there have been a lot of FMV games lately, but man, in the like late 90s when it was sort of a fad, and then there were some celebrity castings. Rob Schneider was in an FMV game. So yeah, that it kind of has that energy as well, where you play just kind of like a weird game, and then your treat is a short, grainy cutscene with a named actor who's just like hammering, just chewing some dialogue, and that's it.
Oh man, it's horrible. It really is horrible. And like, you know what's weird about this kind of stuff is that, because like The Room or like those sorts of campy movies, usually you can find them for free or you can pay whatever $2 on Amazon. They're asking $40 for this. So like I can't be like, hey, go out and buy this $40 game unless you are like Lawrence, a connoisseur of camp.
Yeah.
Who must experience this early. This game will be discounted in a month. And then get it on discount. And then you'll love it or hate it. But like I said the same thing about Saints Row. Buy Saints Row for $10, run through that, it'll be super fun, but not at $60. You know, like give it a second.
That's solid advice.
Yeah. And
that's what's been on my mind lately for some reason.
No, I saw you playing it and I was like, damn it, I gotta play that game again now. Because I saw you and I was like, this Lawrence is making this look good.
I just want to get to the end. I want to beat it once.
Yeah.
And then walk away from it forever. I need to humble it.
Yeah.
What if they make a Crime Boss franchise? What if we go to other cities and unearth more celebrities from the 90s?
This game has to sell a lot for them to do that.
What if they get Corey Feldman, dude?
Oh.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, they can afford most of these people.
Yeah.
Like, I was trying to think of how much do you think they were paying the estate of Chuck Norris?
Yeah, you probably don't need anything but, like, maybe... God damn it. Oh, he threw a basketball into space. Chuck Norris.
Oh, you're crazy, Chuck.
Doink.
Nice.
That's fun. That's fun, isn't it? Isn't that fun?
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, a lot of these folks probably... If I were Chuck Norris, I'm going to guess it's just like... they emailed him all of his sides. He read through them all once, and that's what they got. And then they just put it on a character model or something. I see what
you're saying, yeah. Wow, it's terrible.
Yep.
It's terrible. But like I said, hold off. We're not telling you to buy the game. Let Lawrence play it for you on stream.
Yeah, jeez.
Let Lawrence play it for you on stream.
That's the beauty of streams. Speaking of streams, how do you feel about E3 getting killed by streams, Bruce?
The more that this happens, the more I'm sad about the fact that E3 is no longer around, because I do like E3. I love getting all my news in 2 days or whatever it is. I thought the pageantry was fun. But truly, I don't think anybody needs this.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody needs E3. So, we all knew this was coming. And it was weird last year when they did an E3. Remember, because like they had a hosted E3 and it streamed live on Twitch, and a lot of people were watching it from what I could see. It was like 100,000 people or whatever concurrence were watching for 3 days. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe they revived it. Maybe they brought it back after the pandemic. And nope. No, they didn't. I don't know that we're ever going to see this again. Like ever.
Yeah.
Are you sad about it? Do you care?
My feelings of E3 are kind of complicated. As a consumer, sure. There's nothing better than a bunch of private entertainment companies competing for your attention.
That's right.
And the pageantry, that is sad to go. But at the same time, if it didn't need to happen, I get why it's not happening. Who wants to spend all that money and waste all that time is really what it amounts to make either an E3 demo or to try to put on a whole E3 showcase. Developers distract themselves doing that stuff. But it's fun. And it's, the buzz is always really cool.
Yeah, it's great.
Everybody just gets really excited. But I get why, like, it was kind of a communal cost and a communal benefit. Every publisher would spend money to come to this place and put on a show, and then everyone enjoyed the benefit of everyone else doing that.
That's right.
But then the second people started to be like, well, wait, I can enjoy the benefits and not spend money.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
like EA wasn't at the show, and then Nintendo was still there for a while. The other publishers stopped having show floor space, started doing their own things at LA, and then the culture just kind of crumbled apart, and that was kind of just bound to happen.
Pandemic really sped that up too. Like it was going to die, but boy, that sped it up real fast. But we probably had another 3 years of E3 before the pandemic, and once that pandemic hit, we're done. That was done. It was over. A little scale for you, because I know we always talk about, it costs a lot of money or whatever to buy a booth, or buy this floor space and put up a booth and do a lot. Machinima, its biggest year.
God damn it!
What year was that? 2012, I want to say. E3. Machinima did an insane booth. Like they spent a ton of money. We broadcasted live from E3 show floor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the whole thing cost it was like $1 million. And we had, I'll guess, a third of the show floor space that Microsoft had. So imagine it cost us $1 million for a third of the show floor space that Microsoft had. So we're probably saying Microsoft spends $5 to $7 million per E3 on show floor space, booth, production, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So then they can save that and instead put it into a press conference, because they used to have to do the press conference and the show floor.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But now they all have to do is press conference. They probably spend $2-3 million to make that, but then they can just broadcast it, and it's done.
And then you don't have to have a physical booth staffed by actual people who need to go to the restroom and get harassed by con attendees, and it's just there's a lot of messiness that you get to sidestep there. So I guess there's still Gamescom. Yeah,
that's true.
That's still there.
There's Tokyo Game Shows, Gamescom, GDC, I guess to a lesser extent. There's another one too. I forget the other one, but I don't know. There's a couple of, but I don't think we're ever going to get what E3 was. I think that's probably over with.
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating to read some of the information about it, because there were some game journalists, actually some games media, that were sort of involved with the planning. And they put up some pretty honest stories about how everything just sort of fell apart. They were trying to reorient it to be a more consumer-focused show, festival, and everyone seemed super enthusiastic, but people just didn't obligate, didn't sign contracts, didn't send in checks, and at some point, it's just all fell apart.
Yep.
So yeah, I wonder if there's a space. Do you think a physical event is even where this is headed? Do you think people will still want to do that?
I mean, I think they do. I think people would pay to do but they're doing it at PAX. They're doing it at those. Summer Games Fest is what I was thinking about. Summer Games Fest is that's really more for press. But PAX is for just people that want to pay. That's probably what we're doing now. We're doing those little, the PAX West, PAX East type of thing, and then we could buy a ticket, and then because all Microsoft, Sony, generally those companies exhibit at PAX. So I just don't know that we're going to get all of it all at once in a little festival show where we can pay, I'm just a regular consumer can pay and go and do it. Because nobody wants to make a calendar around one date. We talk a lot about how marketing has their own dates to hit, and they have their own little timeline for each game, and they have to rush to get to E3. Nobody wants to do that. They want to do it on their own. So if Jedi Survivor is available to play at PAX, great. And if it's not, so what? We'll go to the next PAX. I think they probably don't want to fight for that anymore. It probably sucked for them to be we've heard countless stories about how developers had to rush to make an E3 demo that wasn't the video game, but it had to show well at E3. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it's kind of a bummer, I guess. Because, I don't really see a vision of the future where there is a physical in-person event, aside from a PAX, that does kind of remain the focal point of marketing and reveals for the industry. I guess now there's the Game Awards, which has become a very friendly spot to kind of show off what's going to come out in the first quarter of the next year.
That's right.
The timing, incidentally, worked out really well there. But yeah, as far as E3, there's still a good marketing beat to hit in summer.
I agree, yeah.
Because as much, you're absolutely right that it sucks to crunch on demos for a showing in the middle of summer. but also that's about the time that games are ripe enough to maybe show for release that fall.
Right.
So it's that perfect when, like, it actually kind of worked out. The first hot season is the holidays, so June is a really good time to show those titles. And then the next hot season now is March, April, which December is a really good time to show those titles. Yeah.
It's the Space Channel 5. They're just zooming in on these girls' crotches.
Yeah, very respectful camera work. It's just like, I don't know. We're watching some footage from an older E3, and it's the show tokenizes women everywhere. At least it used to back then. Booth babes was a thing. So it's like the overwhelming atmosphere was that the female presenters were there for your ogling and entertainment. So,
which is gross.
So yeah, when the camera guy's zooming in on a lady doing a dance, yeah, well, that was, I guess it was a different time. Ugh, this guy's hair.
It was a different, yeah. I mean, it was a different time, but also like all these people, like, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, like, man, I went to those E3s with booth babes. It's not like I was like, oh man, like now I'm gonna go stare at their tits. Like that wasn't something I did then. So I don't know why. Whatever. I don't know why people did that then. So
I remember back in the late aughts is about when that shit started to really not be okay. But people would talk about going to E3 and just taking photos of all the booth babes, and that's why they went.
Yep.
So I'm glad that the culture got a little less chauvinistic.
Yeah.
But still, also, there was some bad fallout from E3 in years past. Not the game. The games were all mostly fine. So I guess it's when I say that my feelings on E3 are mixed. It's partially that. Very selfishly, I'm kind of bitter because most of the times I went, I was working.
Oh yeah, me too.
So,
yeah.
But what frustrates me is my coworkers were smarter than me because they all ditched their jobs.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. They just wandered around and hung out with people and had drinks.
Yeah. I ended up picking up like 3 or 4 people's work because they just decided not to be there. And then I guess I was like, man, okay, well maybe something will happen and I'll get recognized. Nope. As far as I know, there was no punishment, there was no recognition. I just got saddled with a bunch of work. So I guess that's on me for not being smart enough to not be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I mean, you worked hard. You did your job. Everybody, I knew it.
That's true. Yeah,
I respected you and appreciated it.
Yeah, the right people noticed.
Lawrence, one of my favorite E3 memories of all time involves you, and it's a story we've told 1,000 times, but I'll tell it again. This was a Machinima E3 2013, I think it was, because we had the smallest little booth in the world.
It scaled back real fast.
We had scaled back because they spent way too much money the year before. So we scaled back. There was only a few people there. They wanted us there, obviously, Inside Gaming, to do interviews for devs or whatever. We only set up a few. But we brought in this one dude. It was a random indie game. Do you remember the name of it?
I think it was Guns Up.
Was it? Oh yeah, Guns Up. Yeah. So brought in this one guy from Guns Up, and we're like, okay, Lawrence is going to do the interview for Guns Up, which is a game probably no one's ever heard of, even now. And the dev brought it in and was like, Lawrence was doing the interview. The story goes is Lawrence was doing the interview with one hand holding a microphone and the other hand holding a controller, playing the game while doing the interview. Anthony Carboni, look at that. Playing the game while doing the interview for Guns Up. And the dev the whole time was talking about how hard the game was. Basically oh, this game's really hard. We made the difficulty it scales so that the better you get, whatever. I'm just making it up. And at the end of I swear at the end of the interview, I don't know if this is true, but I swear Lawrence hands over the controller and goes, I beat it. He beat it in a 15 or 20 minute interview. Is that true? Did that really happen? Is that the way it worked?
The interview was shorter. It was only 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, it was short.
That I recall, but it was so you can see gameplay of it now. You really can just play it with one hand. It's an auto battler, so you just send in dudes and then they run forward and shoot. So all you have to do is hit left and right and X. So once I had figured that out, I realized it was much more comfortable to just kind of rotate the controller around, palm it.
Yeah.
And then we were doing the interview, and he was kind of telling me about the mechanics and stuff. And then what I did play the level on hard, and the dude was like, "Oh, you might need to hold the controller there." And I was like, "No, that's right." So we just kept talking and stuff, and then he was like, "You probably won't and then I like beat it, and he was like, "Oh," and then he said, "Oh, we probably got to go talk to some developers about that."
I remember that.
That was the line that I remember. He kind of mumbled about needing to fix the game.
Yeah, because Lawrence beat it in this really tiny little interview. I don't think we ever aired that video even.
I don't think so. Yeah, well, yeah,
because he beat it.
Was that why?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just because it was like, well, also nobody cared about it, so it's like
yeah,
one of those things is like even if we made the video, but. So it's a video that'll never air. The footage is long lost. But that's like one of my favorite stories is Lawrence beating a demo or even a game really with one hand while the developer was like, "It's really hard," and then he slaughtered it. So
do you think? I don't know. Do you think somebody got upset about that? Maybe.
No, he probably was like, "Fuck."
Oh, okay.
He was probably like, "Oh man, I gotta go back and actually make this harder because this one dude did beat it one-handed while not even paying attention." So he probably had to go do some extra work because of you, which is good. Jeez, this is a good test.
Okay, yeah, I was a good beta tester.
Yeah, it was a good test. I mean, Lawrence, you are the quintessential gamer, so it's one of those things. Like, I mean, you're a fantastic gamer.
They didn't know,
but there are people that are better gamers than you. Even
that's true. So,
like, if he put that on the internet, it would have gotten beaten in less time.
May have. Jeez, I remember this was a later E3, and I think we had David Vonderhaar on to talk about Black Ops 3 or 4.
Okay.
One of the Black Ops. And I remember I had an IFB in my ear, like a little cool CIA earpiece. And our live producer basically said, like, "Okay, just chat with him until I give you the signal and then wrap up the interview and we'll move on." I was like, okay. So we were talking, and then like I want to say like a minute and a half after we started, I got the thing in my ear like, "Okay, wrap it up." I was like, because he had just started talking about the game.
Sure, yeah.
And then I was like, well, I guess that's it. And the second I said that, he was like he just stared daggers at me, and I was like, I guess we got to move on. We're out of time. Sorry. Thank you very much for coming. Blah, blah, blah. And he just kind of like got up and walked off in a huff, and I was like, oh, fuck me. I talked to the live producer, and they were like, yeah, somebody just said that whenever we run out of footage, just go to the next scene, and we played the one file we had, and we ran out, so we just moved on.
Oh my! And
I was like, are you kidding me?
Just play it over again.
I just cut the director off and like kicked him out. Because you were very robotically, I guess I was robotically following too, but you gotta trust your team.
Yeah, but yeah, you thought, I mean, like when you get that note in your ear, generally you're like, all right, I got to wrap it up.
Yeah, who knows? There might be like an emergency or something, but
yeah,
that was a rough situation where like.
Did you ever get to talk to Vonderhaar after?
I mean, yeah, I apologized.
Oh, good.
He said it was no problem, but
because I mean, like he probably took time out of his very busy day to come over to that stage and probably imagined a 15-minute demo of whatever COD it was. Was it Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
And 90 seconds, like that's nothing, dude.
I know, I freaked out too. I thought about just like running it over and being like, no, give this guy a little more time to talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tense situations, awkward encounters.
It happens. We broadcast a lot live from E3 for a lot of different companies. Like I said, Rooster Teeth or Machinima, or I did it for G4. Those are like G4, I was producing Attack of the Show and X-Play there, and we did two. Oh yeah, hell yeah.
This is the funniest thing I think I've ever seen at E3.
It's cool. And Meg, we did I produced for Attack of the Show and X-Play, and that was like when G4 was the only broadcasting at E3, and it was awesome. I have fantastic memories. This I specifically remember standing off to the side watching with Rocco. This was E3 2015. This was our first year at Rooster Teeth, and we'd only been there a few months at this point.
Yeah, when fortunes were high and futures were bright.
Yep.
But yeah, one of the best like character bits that I've ever seen. So perfect, so spot on. God, this is 30 minutes. I thought it was.
Is it really only? I like that you only could do Vonderhaar for 90 seconds, and then this is 30 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know, man. all kinds of weird stuff got up to these years. But we always have Project Wind Whistler.
I forgot all about this.
Yeah, this is Rocco was playing some weird Nintendo fan who was petitioning Nintendo to localize some game that they never had.
That's right.
And came on stage in character, which is one of my favorite things, is to like be a mumbling Nintendo character or a Nintendo fan in real life.
Because he wasn't Rocco.
No,
he was just Nintendo character.
He's doing some parkour here. Very nice.
But and this was to petition Nintendo.
I think so. Yeah, to express through the power of dance his desire to play a Japanese game that had not been come out in America. I could be misremembering that. It's been a while.
I think you're basically right. Is this really 30 minutes long?
The whole interview is not him kicking a sandbag and hurting himself in a parking lot.
Well, no, but I mean, like,
Andrew.
Is it really? Oh my gosh, it is. We really need to fill time, except for when Varnahar was on the stage.
Also,
I remember this too. Yeah.
Damn.
I wonder if this will get. Yeah, this whole thing.
This isn't crack. It's shit.
If you should look this up if you have any interest in Mega64 Comedy. That's what this is. It's amazing. Some of my favorites out there at Mega64. Huge shout out to those guys. They're always funny.
Yeah, I got to see the Cyberpunk demo at E3. That was really cool.
That's right, you did. I didn't get to watch it there. I watched the Witcher demo at a Gamescom.
Oh, that's right. And didn't you fall asleep during that?
I think I almost fell asleep during the Witcher, the Star Citizen one.
Oh, right.
Chris Roberts starts. We're gonna watch that at some point, right?
Yes.
I can't wait. I gotta watch. So what is it that you have from Chris Roberts from Star Citizen?
It's like a 4-minute tech demo from Star Citizen at GDC in 2012.
Nice. Maybe
11. Maybe 10. It's early. I don't know. The one GDC I went to in San Francisco.
And we get to watch. It's supposed to be poop that he's eating. We get to watch Chris Roberts talk about all the things Star Citizen is going to have, and then we get to compare it to now, the game we played pretty extensively.
Did the new patch ever end up working for you?
Yeah. Why not? It's kind of. I mean, like, people are saying it's almost there. I know. People are saying it's almost Star Citizen's almost back to normal where it was.
Okay. And now there's trash everywhere?
I don't know about that one. I think it's just too busy. I think the servers have been crashing because who knows what their $500 million is for. But either way, yes, I did fall asleep in a Chris Roberts Gamescom demo because I was jet lagged, but also because it was really boring. He didn't show anything. He just had a laptop with a spreadsheet on it. And he was like, this is what Star Citizen's going to have. And I was just like...
He spent all night on that spreadsheet, Bruce.
Well, he wins. He's $100 millionaire now.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm here.
Well, let's see. I got some other things to talk about here. Sony is the #1 publisher for Metacritic this year.
Oh, most like highly reviewed?
Yeah.
Of course.
Although their Last of Us port is not so great.
Boy, it's a real trash heap. Although for me, it wasn't that bad. It took 30 minutes to cache the shaders.
Jesus.
But other than that, the game worked.
Okay.
So it didn't crash.
Did it keep caching after you started playing, or was it just the one?
No, just the one time. And then also, like, it had an audio issue. It was. They said they were going to patch it. I was reading that they were going to patch it. So,
man, rough nuggets though. Sony was putting out great PC ports.
They were.
Well, I guess Horizon was a little weird. It crashed on me a couple times.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's a bummer. I can't. Part of me feels like surely it was pushed to try to hit the relevance window of the show.
Absolutely.
Which is sad because I don't know, for the grandstanding about art and quality that Sony does, that seems like it's a pretty robotic business decision. But whatever, they can patch it over time. And
I've been saying, if you watch Inside Games at all, I've been saying for probably about a couple of years now that Sony is nickel and diming you, and they have been for a very long time.
Yeah, they corpoed out pretty hard. I think like PS4 made them so much money they kind of became a different company, or Sony Interactive Entertainment, I should say. Yeah. They got a taste of some real money.
That's right.
It's a bummer, man. I think I get it though. After kind of understanding business a little bit more, once your burn rate is a certain thing, you just can't entertain products that aren't guaranteed to make a certain amount of money like you used to.
Which is weird because that is that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
Because you're scaling a business at what you think you'll always have. And we've seen now thousands of people lose their job because everyone scaled their business according to what the pandemic gave them, which was the dumbest shit. I mean, like, I can tell I've had so many conversations with my wife about this, but like, and so I'm not going to name anything, but it was like, there's these companies out there that are like, they're like, we're going to be rich forever. And no one was looking around going like, hey, everyone's at home. That's why they're all playing video games and watching Twitch streams. Like, it's not going to last forever. Like, like, really? Why would anyone ever think that? Of course it's not going to be like that forever. I mean, even if there was no pandemic, it wouldn't have been like that forever. So it's so weird. It's such a weird thing that has cost so many people their job and livelihood. And I just think it's bad business. But anyways.
Yeah. I think it's bad business too. Or rather, it's bad for my version of business. I like sustainable, predictable business. Yeah, we're watching a glitch compilation. Glitches. But I also kind of get the idea that if you want to be a capital B business person, then that means you should take all the money you can as soon as you can and spend it as fast as you can. Mm-hmm. You should scale up as fast as you can, because then you can operate. Like if you decide to scale up slow and all your competitors scale up fast, then they get all the territory. Even if they have to lay off in the future, they'll still probably settle back to its like a business operation that's higher than you.
That's true. Yeah.
So part of me gets that. God, it's like a puppet show.
I know.
So part of me gets that. But another part of me is just like, man, I think I'm just not cut out to try to win capitalism. It's just not for me. I just want to I want to enjoy what I do and feel pride in what I do, and then have enough money to like have a nice meal once a month or so.
Well, I mean, it's widely documented that right now it's the greediest time that capitalism has ever seen. And if we don't change it, like, it's going to get real bad. So like it's kind of up to us, I feel like, as people who are running a business and up to our generation, and obviously the younger generation before us, to not be as greedy and to not make a 700% profit on eggs. Did you see that?
Was that? I thought there was like an avian flu or something that killed all the eggs.
They were like, the avian flu basically didn't affect our stock. It was just that the market dictated prices. And it was funny because I had some economist in chat be like, it's the market. Duh, Bruce. Like, you don't know anything. It's the market. And I was like, they could have lowered prices. Like, they can do that anytime they want. They can lower prices. They made, it's Cal-Maine eggs, I want to say. They made like a 30% profit a year ago. And then this quarter in 2023, they made a 700% profit. And everyone was like looking around like, so why? And they were like, well, because of the market. So there you go.
That sucks. So they thought the avian flu was going to destroy all the eggs. So they raised the price of eggs just in case, but then it didn't. So then they just made a lot of money. All right, well, that's cool.
That's what they did with oil too. Same gasoline, whole deal.
So why isn't the idea then that a competitor is supposed to come along and be like, wait a minute, I'm going to sell cheaper eggs, and then everyone will buy my eggs?
So the problem is that the avian flu had affected other suppliers.
Oh, so everyone did.
So then those other suppliers kind of got knocked out. So then at that point, now they're just fleecing us, right?
They got a monopoly.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So these glitches are amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to be mad about eggs when
I know, right? I'm not saying you should be. I'm not saying you should be mad, by the way. It's just more of this like, be aware of the things that are happening around you. That's all.
We'll save this for the emotional part of the pod. This is a patron exclusive, but yeah, the tight line you have to walk these days of being aware of things but not letting them destroy your outlook on life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Interesting challenge.
Again, like, this is
why is everybody so sweaty in Last of Us? Bruce is not.
It's just things you got to know, and once you know those systems, and you can resolve yourself to not do them. If you are ever running a business, or if you have control of eggs at some point, think to yourself, I don't want to be the person that steals hundreds of millions of dollars from Americans or the world. I would like to try and make it reasonable for people, but you can do that or not, or you can be greedy and make a bunch of money and then disappear, and then you've made money for your grandkids and grandkids and do whatever you want, I guess. But you're also fucking a lot of people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I guess you have to make a system that allows people to be greedy because they want to be, and it's not illegal. Or I guess, where do you define greed? Where does it cross the line?
There's like, that's the problem. That's where we're getting into those. I mean, again, not to get too philosophical, but we're getting into those rules there where like state governments are having to step in. California's doing that actually right now because the oil companies fleeced us so hard last year with gas prices. State of California is making a committee to be like, we're going to watch gas prices, and when we think that this is out of line, we're going to kind of go to you and be like, hey, you got to stop this. Now everyone's like, well, that's socialism or communism or whatever, and that's fine. We can debate that all day. Yeah. But they did it last year. They made record profits.
Yeah. Do you want to pay $7 for gas?
I mean,
is that the price of freedom? I guess it is.
Feel however you want about it. I'm just letting you know that's what's going on. There are record profits being had at your display, at your, disadvantage.
Oh yeah. Speaking of record profits, let's bring it back to games a bit,
please.
EA did layoffs, but also this was one of the stories that I think you suggested for one of our Inside Games episodes.
Oh yeah.
They were ranked as the #1 publisher for player engagement.
For monthly active users, yeah. That's right.
Mostly because of FIFA, but like, Jesus. FIFA's a whole universe unto itself, huh?
Yeah, it was like, wasn't it like 16%? There's some crazy numbers, like 16% of people playing games were playing FIFA.
Yeah, playing FIFA.
Which is wild. I don't know.
It was FIFA, then it was Genshin Impact.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can't remember what the third one was.
I don't know anybody that plays. Oh, actually, Rahul.
Yeah, Rahul plays FIFA.
But nobody else. I don't know anyone that plays FIFA.
I wanna learn about the FIFA players. Yeah. Do they play anything else, or is it just FIFA?
I don't know.
And is it anything else, but is it just Ultimate Team? Does EA really have just a whole crew of people that they've ensnared that completely every year? I guess it's not even every year. It's all the time. FIFA Ultimate Team is always going. So
didn't they just lose the license too?
Yeah, they didn't want to pay FIFA. EA was like, man, fuck. Like EA, so I think FIFA was asking for like double their licensing fee, which EA could afford. But I think EA was like, no, we'll just do it on our own. So
that's why they're doing that. Yeah.
Now they get all that money, and they don't even have to pay FIFA for it. So that's cool.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see if it continues the popularity of the actual FIFA license. It's like, what was it, EA Football Club?
Yeah, EA Sports FC.
That's what it is.
They finally showed the new logo for it. Looks like a triangle.
And are we excited? Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if I wonder if they're going to lose a lot of players.
I wonder. It'll probably be a branding concern.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, FIFA is just what everyone calls it.
Right.
So
right.
You want to play FC?
FC 23.
Does that sound cool? You want to play FC tonight, Bruce?
I mean, I don't. Again, like FIFA or FC, I don't care. So it's kind of whatever. I don't know if they have access to the same players, if they have access to the same logos. I really don't know. Because all of those things, it's like when you do like Madden, like they have to license all of those things. So I wonder if EA is doing all that legwork for FC and then just not worrying about the FIFA.
I think that's the case. I would assume it is. It's going to be a hell of a thing if they try to put out a football product that just like doesn't have anything or anyone. There's no way they could get away with that.
Who's going to make the FIFA game then?
Same team, I think. They're just losing the branding.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. It just goes to FIFA. I don't think there might not be a ppage for it yet.
What's it at the top? Go scroll to the top.
What?
It's also known as EA Sports FC from July 2023.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, EA is the most played publisher of video games. And it's because of Battlefield 2042, Lawrence.
It did it. Battlefield brought it back. I like Battlefield 2042
Oh, it's
now.
great.
I liked it when it launched.
No, but it's way better. It's way better, and everyone now agrees it's way better.
Oh, Bruce, you want to talk about sticking it to the gamers?
I read this.
Did you see this shit?
I read this.
So yeah, sorry, I keep accepting all cookies on your machine. I hope that's okay. Uh-oh, Bruce. Oh, they got your shopping.
I'm kidding.
You're going to get some targeted ads about Vin Diesel now. But yeah, Arc 2, they delayed it, which sucks because it's the Vin Diesel game.
Mm-hmm. Delayed till, I think, next year. 2024.
Yeah, end of 2024.
End of 2024. Oof.
So they got to make some money somehow. So they're going to relaunch Arc 1 and shut off the original game. So you have to buy it again.
They're going to shut off the official servers of Arc Survival Evolved, the first Arc, Then they're going to sell you the remaster in order for you to get access to their official servers.
They're going to sell you the remaster that comes in a bundle with the sequel. That's the only way to get the remaster. So they're going to make you buy the sequel a year early to keep playing Arc 1, which theoretically you already have and can play.
Like, speaking of getting fucked by eggs, man, like this is shit. I read that story. I forgot. I actually didn't send this to you about Inside Games. I should have. Because I read the story yesterday. I was like, holy shit. They are like, this is brazen. This is like they're really actively trying to fuck their players.
It's brazen, I agree. But I think I don't think it's fair, but it's a fair play as far as the market's concerned.
Oh,
right?
sure. Yeah.
So let them try. Screw it. I've actually been kind of interested to see, I don't know, I think game pricing is pretty rigid. And that's a good thing for us. It makes value propositions pretty easy to evaluate. But in recent years, I've seen game publishers very slowly but very deliberately start to mix up the idea of value in games.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest ones that just drives me a little bit batty is like early access. And I've read about this before.
Always, yeah.
If you pay $60 and then you have access to a game, you bought the game and the game's out. So to like put an arbitrary release date that's a week away.
I agree. Yeah.
Although I suppose that is to drive more purchases to digital than it is to physical. But even still, like that's a little bit weird. Early access, early boosts, all that stuff is just like, this is how they get you, Bruce.
That's what I say all the time whenever I'm like streaming an early access game. I'm always like, yeah, this is an early access. I don't like it. It needs work. And somebody in chat always chimes in. So always the same person says, but it's early access. And I go, it doesn't matter. They took my money. So I can spend whatever, the same amount of money on Vampire Survivors or the same amount of money on this game that's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they still took my money. So if it was free, then you'd have a point. It's free early access. So we're all getting to try it for free. They didn't take any money from me, but it's broken. So who gives a shit? However, if they took $30 from me and I could play this or Astroneer that's finished, it's the same value. So sorry.
Yeah, that's another fun little trick. If you put beta on it, then it can accept anything. And it can even be like, I guess it can't be a full priced game and called beta. That's the thing. Or like open beta or early access. It's funny too, because I've had some similar conversations where somebody will come in and they'll be like, hey, this looks a little weird. Is it early access? And then if you say yes, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's weird. It's really strange.
But like you said, they're asking your money for it, and this is what you get in return. So I guess there is some value to the labeling, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Of a publisher saying like, we're not done yet. But even a 1.0 is not done. It's just shipped. So
that's right. Yeah.
It's all getting fuzzy. I honestly don't mind games being a little more inventive with how they price things. Kind of like Crime Boss costing $40, although you mentioned it being on sale. It is on sale right now.
Oh, it's like 32,
sale.
33?
Yeah, it's like $30. 33, yeah.
Yeah.
Still not something I'd recommend to everybody.
But $33?
Yeah, it's a fair amount of money for something that is janky and busted and hard to understand. But I'm glad that it exists, and I think it's pretty cool that they chose that price point.
Yeah, better than 60.
Oh yeah, by a long shot.
Yeah.
No, it would just be an automatic no if it were 60 for pretty much everybody. But,
yeah.
But I do want there to be a world of ambitious, moderately scoped $40 games. Hopefully with like Game Pass and subscription services, those things can find more of a vibrant life. PC's kind of been the only place they can exist.
Yeah, absolutely. Steam, they for sure do at that price point. Absolutely.
And look at Vin going to town on these dudes.
He's a hero, man.
Can't wait for Arc 2, huh?
Well, you're gonna have to wait a long time.
End of 2024.
About a year and a half.
Do you think Vin already put down all of his performance? Do you think it's all canned? It's ready to go?
Yes, but I think there's probably a couple of pickups they need of Vin. No, I think isn't it just his voice? There's no way there's motion capture of Vin in the game.
Look, he's right there.
But this is a cinematic.
Yeah, but
there's no way they put this in the game.
Why not?
Well, this isn't the game, first of all. But
yeah. Why wouldn't? If you have a talent like Vin, you're just gonna have him stand there and talk to you? No, he's gonna be backflipping. He's got to put dinosaurs in the earth, so 2 million years from now he can use them to fuel up his cars and do burnouts and stuff.
Wow,
Vin's gonna kill so many dinosaurs. I can't wait.
This is a weird case of Ark being like, I was like really excited. I was actually just recently I was like, maybe I should start an Ark server. and like try and invite people and like we actually do the ARC thing for a little bit. But then I was like, I saw this news story. I was like, never mind. Never mind. We're good. So
yeah, we'll just walk away from that one. Luckily, there's a million other video games, all of which are vying for our time and attention.
some are so good. Crab Champions is like $9.
All right.
It's so good.
I gotta get crabbed.
You got to play it. It's so good.
Before we wrap up here,
Yeah.
just wanted to run down the list of games that are coming out.
Oh man, such a good month for games.
Yeah, there's some good ones in April. There's the Mega Man Battle Network Collection on April 14th.
You could bet Lawrence will be playing that.
Yeah. I actually haven't played any of the Battle Network games, so I can learn that aspect of the Mega Man universe.
There you go.
Minecraft Legends on April 18th.
Which, by the way, I played.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
I got a little bit of an early thing. It was fun. I mean, like it was like I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they're going to charge $60 for this. They shouldn't. But it's a fun little kind of an action RPG or like they had a different genre to it. It's a weird video game that I don't know, doesn't really fit into a genre that I can describe.
I like those.
But it's fun. I really enjoyed it, and it's super polished. So
got the DLC for Horizon Forbidden West. Burning Shores coming out on April 19th.
Did you beat Forbidden West?
No.
I didn't
Horizon
either.
just didn't grab me.
I played it and enjoyed it, but I didn't beat it. I tried playing it a couple times actually, and people on Twitch, it also did not resonate with them. So I was surprised to see that people were not into that. It released right around the time of Elden Ring. That's why.
Okay.
So people most people just played Elden Ring.
Yeah, for a game that is sold as well as it has, yeah, I don't know. There's fans of it out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it was so by the numbers, I guess.
It was.
It was really pretty, but then there's like mysterious tech.
Of course.
And then you got to fight these things and harvest these bits. And yeah, I'll get to it one of these days, I think. The Advance Wars 1 and 2 re-release is finally coming out.
You'll be streaming it?
No. Maybe. I just think this is notable because it was going to come out like, what, a year and a half ago?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was going to come out and then Russia invaded Ukraine. So Nintendo was just quietly like, nope.
Oh.
Because there's a Russian character in it.
Got it.
So they might have removed that character.
Got it.
Anyway, just fun how those things interact. Dead Island 2 is finally coming out on April 20th.
I can't wait.
21st.
For some reason I keep hearing rumors the game is like it's broken. Like, but I don't know that that's actually true because I've not seen anybody play it. I haven't heard anybody, but I've like read a couple of little snippets that were like, this one might be rough. So I can't wait. I'm excited to play a rough Dead Island 2.
Cool.
So
yeah, sometimes glitches are fun.
Yeah.
And then finally the big one, Star Wars Jedi Survivor on April 28th.
I feel like I've been waiting for this game, well, almost 4 years.
Yeah, ever since the first one.
Almost 4 years because that first one's awesome.
So sick.
Awesome.
I swore they were going to try to add DLC or something.
Yeah,
with the way it ended.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of ended there. They're like, well, here we go. And then you're just kind of on the ship and that's it. And I was like, oh, well, you can go back to the map and there'll be a new planet there. And you'll go there and there'll be a new... Nope, none of that. But luckily, here we go. So that's fun.
Can't wait.
Do you know what it's about? Yeah, for Jedi Survivor, I haven't looked at anything.
I was going to say, no trailers, none of it. I'll occasionally read an article about it and I'm like, no, I don't want to know. Because I just want to go in blind because I'm going to play the hell out of it and beat it. So
hell yeah, same.
Can't wait.
And then finally, I wanted to shout out the Inside Games Inside Gamer of the Month here on the podcast.
Oh, great.
There was a comment on the Resident Evil 4 remake that I thought was very...
Oh, your review.
Clever and insightful.
Which is, by the way, a fantastic review.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I got a little Stallone lip going on here. Nice, look at that. But let me scroll down here. This is an insightful comment from... Nope, the comments are up here now. Wait.
Yeah, where are they? What happened?
Where'd they go? Past all. Oh, there they are. They just had a load.
That's because if you maximize it, it'll fix.
Purple Shy writes, better you say, and saying that remake is better than RE4.
Of course.
I assume. Hey, look, I know this sounds crazy. Or excuse me. Hey, look, I know this sounds crazy, but how about you try to parry a oncoming axe and chainsaw and everything else in real life using a knife? See if it make any sense or not.
Is anyone going to tell him that the video game's about zombies? Is anyone going to tell?
Well, that's immaterial, Bruce. He's got a point. I have yet to swat an incoming axe and a chainsaw out of the air with a knife.
But are they going to? But I mean, like he says, real life. Everything else in real life.
Must plagas.
Does he not know that zombies and like they're not real? That's not real life. No.
Well, you're preparing for real life, Bruce.
Okay.
We all want to be Leona's kid. We all want to be a cool dude who can do flip kicks. We all want to fight some zombies, which is why we're in our backyards every day trying to parry axes out of the air with a kitchen knife.
with a kitchen knife, exactly.
Purple Shy knows what the deal is.
I love these comments.
Throw it at me and I'll block it.
It's
that's really hard to do.
This is the it's called the suspension of disbelief. And there's a line for everybody, and this crossed the line for Purple Shy. This was when he was watching it, he said, "What? Leon parried a chainsaw with a knife? That's it. I'm done. I don't want to play this game." Better than the original?
No. I like the original because it's not as unrealistic. You don't see Leon parrying with a knife in that game.
Everyone's got their line, Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Rise of Skywalker is one of my favorite because I suspended my disbelief for so long. And then I forget when it was. It was probably around the time somehow Palpatine returned. And I was like...
That's like right at the beginning.
There it is. Oh, was it? There was something like within the first 30 minutes of the movie. I was like, I just can't do it anymore. And then I would just watch the rest of the movie. And I was like, well, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Just falls out of your head.
Yeah.
I love that moment where you're like, I'm out.
I know.
That was one too much.
Just wash your hands of it.
Like, we have to wash our hands of this podcast, Bruce.
It's over.
We did it.
That's
One more
right.
month in the books.
Yeah.
Legendary Inside Gamescast.
Yeah, and no baby talk.
No baby talk.
But I guess maybe only for the patrons.
For the patrons, yeah. We're baby.
I didn't do that on purpose.
But yeah, we do our Inside Patrons cast after this. Well, after for us, but whenever you decide you want to be a brave gamer and support us on Patreon. But really, any amount. It's a pretty pricey amount for the bonus cast, but any amount helps. This whole production works. Actually, I'm going to tease out a patron exclusive here.
Okay.
Because we had a bit of a swell in patron funding.
Because we're a new video. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of revamped it and kind of made some more people aware of it. And we immediately put that right back into more meaningful content for the internet.
We did.
Yeah, I've been commissioning Kino Fabino, Meme Lord Extraordinaire,
right. Yes,
to make some Inside Games meme comics for us. So here's our patron exclusive comic for this last week.
Okay.
There's going to be another one every week, and that's every patron gets these.
Okay.
These are exclusive.
Well, this is for free right now.
These are rare memes. I'm giving it away.
I was going to say this is public. This isn't for patrons. Everybody's watching.
Yeah,
this.
everybody can see this.
Yeah.
That's how nice I am. Bruce's baby under lockdown. You got to pay to see.
You got to pay for that.
But you get this one for free. So no complaining, all right? No complaining about our shameless monetization of our dwindling audience. Thank you for watching.
Wait a minute, dwindling? It's growing. What are you talking about?
I have to make us seem like the underdogs, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're definitely not on top of the world. That's for sure.
There we go. That's a good middle ground. But yes, fresh meme for the patrons every week. Ad-free, Discord hangouts, all sorts of tiers. Check it out. But hey, thank you for listening to the podcast.
Thank you very much.
That's enough. We just appreciate sharing your time with us.
That's right.
And I hope you come back next week. Month.
Month.
See you then.